Hi, everybody. Cody from The Way of the Void here. Just hoping that you know that this is just for entertainment purposes only. We're just trying to make you giggle a little bit. It's damn near designed so you can't learn anything from it. Just keep that in mind. It's just laughs, folks.
There is no other God. Satan killed him.
Hello. What's going on, man?
This is Eric,
This is Cody.
and this is The Way of the Void.
Ooh, episode 1. Mm-hmm. Episode 1. I have a feeling I'm about to be upset.
We have a better mic setup this time.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to talk louder. Try not to talk under my breath. Let's see how it goes.
I think it's going to go great. So, what have you been up to, man?
Not much. I'm rewatching The Sopranos because there's nothing good on TV ever anymore. Outside, oh yeah, what did you think of our inauguration?
Oh, man. Dude, it's the funny. I don't know, man. It's so funny because, it's like I only saw like clips and stuff like that.
Same. I didn't actually watch.
And I saw some like clip of him like talking about like that, the country's like riddled with crime and he's gonna deport fucking like 20 million people and all this other stuff, and how like, you know what I mean, just like going through these doomsday scenarios, and then the camera fucking pans to the right and like Biden and Kamala are like right there, and I'm just like, God damn, they're right there, dude. Like
Just talking shit.
just talking so much shit, and they're like right fucking there.
Yeah. What's up, losers?
Yeah,
Like,
what's up?
so fucking disrespectful.
Yeah,
He's not like a politician. He's like a weird fucking battle rapper that
yeah,
now entered politics or something. Like he's just there to
yeah.
be mean.
Yeah, it's almost as if they gave like a game show host the keys to the castle.
Almost. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can you imagine if this was like, because this was back in the day, this would be like if like what's his face from The Price is Right is all of a sudden president now.
yeah, dude. It's funny too because I've seen a lot of people online and stuff, saying like, oh, the left and the Democrats need to do the same thing. So they've been like hyping up like Jon Stewart to like go for the presidential nomination.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Because he wants to do that.
yeah, I know.
Because he wants to do that. Let me. Oh, what do I make on the Daily Show? Yeah, let me go make $400,000
Yeah,
a year if I win.
yeah,
For all the stress in the world.
yeah.
How'd you like our boy Musk?
Oh, Musk.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a great job.
He could have signed off better.
Yeah, God damn. The discourse on that is
It's been my favorite thing ever. Because the arguments are, wow. The arguments are like, hey, he's an autistic boy.
yeah,
And you got him pretty riled up.
you got him pretty wild.
You got him fucking really excited. And then the other one is like, he's actually a Roman soldier.
Yeah.
That's where that salute comes from, actually.
The funniest thing about that that argument is that I have a pretty nagging suspicion that most Nazis are probably autistic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
maybe. I don't know.
you don't get that kind of just like manufacturing ingenuity
Yeah.
without a little bit of that sprinkled
Oh,
in.
without a little bit of the
You know what I mean? Like,
autism. Yeah.
yeah, they make the cars and like, all the German engineering. It's like we're now like you're a little bit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Do you believe him? Do you think he was trying to say that my heart goes out to you? I think he was trying to piss people off, and then he did, and then he like did it for real this time.
No, I 100% think that he's trolling. You know,
Of course.
because like that's all
That's what he's known for.
Yeah, that's all that fucker does. Is just like trolls people and shit like that.
Sometimes I envy him.
Him?
Yeah, just you have a billion. You don't have to work anymore.
Yeah.
And all you do is just make fun of people online.
Yeah.
That's all Elon Musk does. He's like, well, when I'm not focusing on trying to get to space,
Yeah. And
I'm gonna go make fun of this guy.
I think he made some claim recently too that he was like the fourth, like the top, one of the top 4 Diablo 4 players in the world.
Saw that coming.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, have you ever played Diablo?
I played Diablo 2, I think. Whichever one starts off with that guy like lighting up a church in like the trailer. or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I think it's
yeah.
Diablo 2.
Yeah.
But outside of like Final Fantasy 8, I don't really do the RPG stuff too much.
Yeah, it's
You know,
like
I don't.
Diablo's kind of a weird game. It's one of those. It's like very like hyper addictive, and it's like really set
Yeah.
up for people that like love the grind, where you just like keep like hammering the same level over and over again just to get like a little piece of armor or shit like that.
Oh, folks
So-
that have to do a repetitive thing
Yeah.
over and over to feel good.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I think they have a name for that.
I played a bunch of Diablo 3 on the Xbox with the old lady. She was like really into it, so we used to play a bunch together.
Yeah.
And then producer Nikki bought me Diablo 4.
How is it?
It's okay. I don't know. It's just dude, I'm so old and lazy now where I just, if there's a game I'm really good at, like I'll just fucking play that. Like
Yeah,
instead,
stick with it.
yeah, instead of trying to like get good at something new, fuck that.
I didn't have a system between PlayStation 2 and the Xbox you got me.
Yeah.
So when I started dipping my toes back in, I just try. I'm playing this game right now. I call it Nutsack Man,
Mm-hmm.
but you look like you're made out of. It's super weird. It's called Clash. Artifacts of Chaos.
Clash Artifacts of Chaos.
Yeah.
Huh.
And you just walk around this like fever dream, punching the shit out of things. That's it.
I like it.
And it's basically the Mandalorian. You're trying to save some little small thing.
A little
Child.
baby.
Yeah, a little baby.
Is the baby cute?
It's like a fucked up bird. It's like a Google-eyed bird.
Okay, it doesn't sound like it.
No, this whole game, nothing's cute in it.
Oh, everything is like grotesque and shit.
Kind of. It kind of looks like if you were trying to do that like grotesque, like kind of aesthetic, like the evil within, but if it was put through the prism of like Spyro the Dragon.
Okay, you ever hear that game back in the day? What was it called? Like Oddworld.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
Abe's Oddworld.
Yeah.
It has a lot.
Oh,
of that.
okay,
Yeah,
that's cool.
it has a lot of that to it, but I don't know if I'm gonna stick with it. But I'm trying it out.
Well,
What else is new?
not much. You know, just like researching stuff for this podcast.
How's that been going?
I've been having fun. Yeah, I've been having fun with it. A lot of fun. Yeah, it hasn't been pissing me off constantly. I don't know.
Is this the researchers that you got stuck with?
I have a bone to pick with you.
With me?
Yeah, with you.
What'd I do?
I'm so beside myself and upset with this episode 1 show topic. And I understand that I'm the one that picked this topic,
You're right.
but I don't want to take that responsibility. So I'm going to blame you.
It's passing it off to me.
Yeah, I'm passing it off
All
to
right.
you.
I'll take that. Just know you're gonna share the wealth. Like I'm gonna be probably like pretty irritated by the end of this too. It's
Yeah.
the ham radio operators, isn't it?
Yeah, let's
I fucking knew it.
get into it.
All right. Lay it on me, man. What are we talking about?
So we are talking about number stations.
I don't even like the name.
Okay, my friend Cody, let me paint a picture for you.
Okay.
Imagine you're a young German man
Gotcha.
sitting on your bed in Lederhosen
Mm.
in West Germany or East Germany. I don't know. The
One of them.
the one that wasn't communist.
Okay.
Okay, and you have yourself a little ham radio,
Right.
and you're just like scrolling through the numbers, and you're just like, you know, looking for some American rock and roll or something
Okay.
like that to listen to.
All right.
And one day you're scrolling and you hear this.
I already don't like this.
So,
Okay.
So for this episode, I was gonna like splice in some audio. So the one listener that we have,
Right.
my dog, we already went over that.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not in here today.
No, he's not listening today.
Oh, he's not listening today. So it's just us.
Yeah.
I was gonna splice in audio, you know what I mean, so the listeners could kind of like figure out what we're talking about.
Right.
I don't want to do that
Yeah.
because they all sound like complete dog shit.
Yeah.
They're all like distorted, and it's like this weird synthetic voice and stuff like that. But that's essentially the gist of it, where it will be a tone of music or something that kind of like sets it off. Like sometimes
Right.
it's a buzzer and it'll be like, this message is starting, and then it's a series of numbers that are said.
Okay. So what does John Cusack have to do with
Okay.
this?
Oh, motherfucker. Okay, so with my research, I'm a big YouTube guy, so I watched a bunch of YouTube. 100% of the videos pissed me off because it like breaks it down into like two categories. So it's like it's either like a 15-minute video
Right.
where they'll talk about the number stations and what the theory is, what they're used for. The theory is that it's used for espionage.
Okay.
And then the other video is like a 2-hour-long video of some two fuckers talking, and like they break down the entire history of the fucking Cold War.
How cool are those guys?
They're so cool. I hate it. I grew up during the Cold War. I'm an old fucker. I'm like 43.
Right.
And I don't know, man. I just don't give a shit. Like,
this topic's gonna be awesome.
yeah, it's gonna be great. So it's it's usually like a big long history lesson of the Cold War, which I will not recount.
Right. The Russians didn't like us. We weren't big fans.
Yeah,
People were pretty skittish around the nukes.
yeah.
And then, now we're here.
And now we're here.
All right, there you
which,
go.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah, good. All right, good. What's the other theory?
Well, there's a few theories. So, okay, let me kind of like break it down. So, a number station is essentially a broadcast that's given over shortwave radio. And shortwave radio, it's like a transmitter that shoots out a radio signal up into the ionosphere, and
Okay.
then it reflects it back down to the earth, and then it reflects it back up. So it kind of like bounces up to the atmosphere and back down. So you know how like if you're listening to a radio station, if you like drive to another fucking county, it goes away.
Yeah.
The radio signal's like essentially goes straight out, and just like once it hits the horizon, it kind of keeps going. So that's why like you lose the radio signal.
Okay.
But with a ham with the shortwave radio signal, it kind of like it goes vast distances. Like it could go thousands of miles, and you could hear it from like another continent sometimes. Like it's like huge distances.
Everything you said, I hated just now.
Yeah.
Every single fucking syllable.
Yeah.
What happened to my friend, and who put this fucking ham radio dork in front of me?
You did this.
I know.
No.
I know.
So
What he's referring to is I came up with the idea to not pick something that we're like ape shit about for the first couple episodes, because as you can see if you've listened to episode 0, there was some technical difficulties, things that we could be improved upon. So we picked these.
yeah.
This is my fault.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. All right. Okay. So espionage, I don't buy that.
So one of the main theories is okay. So one of the main theories is that they're secret transmissions and coded messages that a spy in another country can listen to and decipher with a code cipher.
Okay.
And I don't know. I read about the code cipher. I didn't retain any of it because I didn't care.
Right.
It's essentially like, you know,
It's just the key. So
it's the key. It's
yeah.
the keys of the code. You know what I mean? And I guess like every code cipher is different. So it's like if you're listening to this message, you're gonna have a code cipher, and then you look up what the fucking code is and you figure it out, and then you burn it, and then you get a new one.
Okay. So how old are these?
So so secret, like that's also one of the kind of one of the sticking points about this whole thing is because people used to pick up Morse code transmissions like around World War I, and they were
Okay.
like, so people were picking up these.
These things go back to World War One.
Yeah, they go to code transmissions, and like people were like, Morse code, and it was just like a series of numbers, and people try to intercept them because that's also one of the things too is that you can kind of like triangulate and try to kind of figure out where the signal is emanating from, but you have no idea where it's broadcasting to.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like, so anyone that picks this signal up, nobody could figure out who's actually receiving it.
But they can figure out maybe who's sending them.
Yeah, exactly.
Are they all childlike like that?
There's a couple that are childlike. They're very like off-putting and
Right.
unsettling. Like they all sound fucking creepy and
I'm
weird.
assuming that they're your dorks that you had to. These dorks that have enslaved you for the last month
Yeah.
that you had to listen to. I'm sure they're like, well, that's so people will get uncomfortable and change the station.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
and
That's
it's
what
like,
they say?
and it's like so like weird sounding that a lot of people probably just get unsettled and turn it off.
I'm gonna fucking solve this right now.
Okay,
All right. This was like the chimos and the dark web chimos
Yeah.
of yesteryear. That's what this was.
100%,
That's what I'm gonna say.
100%. Like
Yeah.
I'd imagine that some of these are probably real, and
Right.
I'd imagine that they probably are speaking to spies somewhere.
Maybe.
But I guarantee you, like 90% of them are just dudes making these so fucking assholes like us will talk about them on a podcast.
Oh God.
Yeah. So
That's your base conclusion, isn't it?
that's 100% my base conclusion. I think it's fake.
Oh man.
You know what I mean? I think it's just it's all fucking hoaxes.
Oh, we've uncovered the root of the anger right here.
Yeah,
If this is something that used to fascinate you, and then you made the mistake of
Yeah.
studying it,
100%.
and now you're like,
So no, no country has ever like said, "Oh yeah, that's our signal," or like, "Yeah, these are secret transmissions." There's been a couple pretty vague like explanations from governments. Like I believe the British government made a statement about it, and they pretty much said number stations aren't real and you shouldn't be listening to them because it's against the law.
oh, cool.
Like that was
Okay.
that was their statement.
A bunch of inbreds in a castle. Fucking, we're like, Dave, don't listen to our secret stuff.
Yeah, don't listen to our secrets. But so they really started popping off in the 80s and the 70s, 80s. That's when they really started like,
Okay, I'll believe those were probably like at the height of the Cold War.
Yeah.
They probably got adopted from whatever dumb shit they used to be for.
yeah, like
They're
once
all right.
once radios and ham radios became a thing, like in World War II, that's when people kind of started discovering these.
Can we take a moment to talk about ham radio as a hobby?
I would love to.
Like it's such a like. All right, I get it. When they first came out, it was probably cutting edge and really fun to have.
Yeah.
But if you're a ham radio guy now, what happened? Like what happened?
Well, Cody, I think a couple things probably happened. You know, I think you you live your life. You try to do the right thing. You know what I mean?
You're also wrestling with whatever Elon Musk has. I can tell you that.
You get a job. You go to school, maybe go to college. You get a job. You meet a nice lady. You settle down, and then 30 years goes by, and you have nothing to show for your life.
And you've warped into a mutant
Yeah.
that plays this radio in the garage.
Yeah, I'd imagine a lot of ham radio people maybe couldn't afford what are those things called where people look for like fucking like rings and stuff on the beach?
Oh, the metal detectors?
Yeah. I'd imagine it's because the metal detector.
Oh, they're right there.
Yeah, they're sold out
directly
or
next to each other.
Yeah, they're right there.
In the dork hierarchy, they're right there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their dancing partner, the
Yeah.
metal detector guys.
And truck drivers, which
Yeah.
truck drivers is cool.
Good pick. Are you gonna do metal detectors next?
Fuck. I don't know, man. If we touch on some ancient civilization shit, I'm sure we will.
There's so much with metal detectors.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I could play the best clips for you. Just the best clips. They'll always, I mean, as you know, my love for the ancient aliens is strong.
Mm-hmm.
Every time they're like, fucking to prove this theory, we brought in old Bill here. He usually goes to the beach every Sunday looking for lost engagement rings and shit.
Yeah. Oh, I found a Roman coin.
Yep.
Yeah.
They bring him out and he's like, yeah, 100% aliens did it.
Yeah, I used to have a neighbor once when I was a kid that he wasn't a metal detector guy, but he would go and he would like look for like Indian arrowheads and shit like that.
Right.
And he would like I remember I think he had a kid, probably. That's probably why I was at his house. I'd imagine.
Yeah.
I can't remember now. But
yeah.
but you know, he had all these like Indian arrowheads and stuff like that like on his wall, and he's like, "Oh, that's priceless. That's like worth millions of dollars." And I'm like, really, homie? That's why you live in an apartment in Oakdale, California? Because this shit's priceless, huh?
Yeah, because you have so many priceless heirlooms in here. You know, there's just not enough space at Fort Knox. That's why they had to go to the apartment in Oakdale with his arrowheads.
Yeah.
You know, once that spot next to the Hope Diamond opens up, then his arrowheads, they get the respect they deserve.
Yeah, and I'm sure he had what is that fucking Anastasia's jewelry and shit from the fucking Russian
Fabergé Russian eggs.
Yeah.
All right. Is there a paranormal element to these things, or is this strictly dorks playing Howdy Doody fucking kids songs?
And so to kind of go with that, so the second YouTube video I was telling you about, that's like a 2-hour long podcast where these guys like hash out the Cold War and stuff like that. Like it literally just turns into like espionage fucking fan fiction.
Sick.
I hate it.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, it's just these two fucking dorks just talking about code ciphers and
right.
You know what I mean? And like all this like spies, Russian spies living in the United States or West Berlin and shit like that.
Right. Okay.
So as I was saying earlier, no country has ever said that these are, you know, messages to spies or their military stuff. You know, like no country's really.
Do they keep broadcasting? Like, is there one that is broadcasting since World War fucking one?
Yeah, there's a bunch. Yeah, there's a bunch that are still going, and there's a few that have ended. Like, you know, they stopped transmitting for whatever reason. There was one.
Batteries ran out.
There was one that they discovered on this island, like in Cyprus, or in Cyprus.
Oh, cool.
And so, and I believe that some people went to the location, and it was just like a fucking weird old radio station with like a fuck ton of antennas and like a barbed wire fence around it. And then once somebody discovered it, it stopped broadcasting.
Like it stopped. Somebody came and did they talk to anybody? Did anybody ever come forward?
Nope.
It just stopped on its own.
Yeah.
Do you think this could be spooky ghosts?
It could be spooky ghosts.
Ghosts of ham radio operators, heroes, fallen heroes.
Yeah, and that's another bone I have to pick is that there. Let me see. There is a organization that kind of categorizes these and saves all of them. I think they are called Who Gives a Shit. But they have a website, and I think it's like Connet or something like that. It starts with a C.
Okay.
And it's an organization that kind of like discovers these, and then they kind of categorize them, they record them, and then they have, so there's like a big database of like a bunch of them that they've like recorded and have been tracking. And like they'll say if it's like active or inactive. And I believe it's a lot like Wikipedia, where people kind of just like update it and stuff like that.
Yeah, very trustworthy.
Yeah, super trustworthy. I saved a document on my computer, and I was like reading through it, and I instantly hated it and got bored. And I'm like, who the fuck would do this with their time? Like,
look at us.
like, so good call. But so I understand, like, I guess the ham radio people, because it's a fun little hobby and you like build it. You know what I mean? It's probably some electrical dorks, some audio nerds. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
But then also though, to like own and manage like an entire like database and like website, that seems a little unhinged to me.
Right. For something that you think is obviously fake.
I think it's 100% fake.
Right.
So there's this other one that's really famous. It's Yosemite Sam. So that's like
actually like the Looney Tunes?
Yeah, it's like the Looney Tunes, Yosemite Sam. So it's like they broadcast Yosemite Sam saying something, and then it goes into like the numbers, and it like broadcasts like every few hours, and it's always a different set of numbers. So there's obviously somebody updating these things and changing the codes, the numbers.
Have any of these been cracked?
No, none of them been cracked.
Bullshit.
That's what they say.
These fucking dorks haven't figured this out?
No, because the code cipher is like, the code cipher changes all the time. So it's like every time you get a code cipher, it's like generated and it's like different.
These nerds haven't been able to figure this shit out. A fucking math couple figured out the last Zodiac's letter. We can't figure not one since World War I. Like Einstein was alive, and they were like, no, he came up with nothing. Jack shit.
Well, I'm gonna level with you. A lot of these videos I didn't finish, so they could have deciphered them. But what I gathered is none of them been cracked.
God.
But in the 90s, a group of 5 Cuban men in Miami were arrested by the U.S. government for espionage, and in their like apartment, they found a bunch of ham radios, and they had been receiving messages from a number station that generates from Cuba, and that station is called Atención.
I'm gonna go with that one was probably espionage.
Yeah, there's a bunch from Cuba.
Okay.
That are probably espionage.
Is it like every country has a couple?
Yeah, like we
around
have
the globe.
So the one that I was talking about, the Yosemite Sam one.
Yeah.
So some people figured out the location of that one, and that one I believe was in New Mexico or Arizona.
Yeah.
And they went down to it.
That's Yosemite Sam's fucking turf, bro.
Yeah, and they went down to that one.
Cactus.
And I guess like a bunch of security guards. It was the same thing. It was just like a random building with like a bunch of fucking antennas just blasting out these messages, and some security guard chased them off, and then it stopped broadcasting.
Did they ever go back?
They're dead. No, I don't think they I don't think they ever went back.
Okay, so we have the espionage theory, and we know that they're all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any other? God, I know I'm gonna regret asking this. I can see why you're so fucking pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've been telling me about these for fucking 20 minutes now. It seems like.
Yeah.
And it feels like 5 fucking hours.
Yeah.
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 Great. What other theories do we have about them?
You know that they're aliens.
Come on, bro. Aliens. He's a fucking ham radio.
Hey, man. I don't know. So
How fucking janky would that be?
if
That would suck.
if the aliens got here and they're using fucking ham radio,
Dude,
and
they
shit,
open it up and they're just like, "How y'all did?
yeah,
We picked you up on the ham radio. Thought we'd come down to the planet and see what's going on." Like that would be the worst aliens.
yeah. Well, another aspect of this, which was kind of interesting to me,
Yeah.
is that a lot of these stations are actually cartels. So they've gone down to Mexico, and like there's like a lot of these messages that get blasted out, you know, and like the same kind of thing.
Right.
There's like either a song or like a broadcast, and then it's like a series of numbers.
Right.
And so some people have been theorizing that it's actually drug cartels communicating with each other.
It makes sense if it kind of switched off. It used to be espionage, like
Yeah.
a way for, and then
And-
the technology kind of just switches
Yeah.
off. To now it's drug trafficking.
Yeah, because it's one of those things where
That's tight, though.
like I said, like nobody could kind of figure out who is getting these messages.
Right.
Because if you send, like a telephone call or a text message or even an email, like you know exactly who it's going to.
Right, and
So-
coming from.
Yeah, so it's like not safe. So this broadcast is like one of the safest forms of communication.
Because it's so dumb, it's untraceable.
Yes.
Sick.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that one. Cartel dudes are pretty fucking rad. And
Yeah.
these dudes are giant dorks.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. And they've gone down to Mexico and they've kind of seen I think that they call them like parasitic antennas, where it will just be like a big like radio station, like a normal one for whatever reason, or like a
Right.
big, and then they'll go and they'll see that somebody put like a makeshift like antenna attached to it. So they're kind of piggybacking off of like the big antenna and stuff like that.
Mm.
You know?
Kind of like pirate radio stations. and
Exactly.
stuff. Okay. I don't know. Well, obviously, have they ever tried to put together like maybe it's coordinates, maybe it's phone numbers, maybe it's like like their number stations?
Yeah.
What does John Cusack say about it?
So while I was researching this topic,
You poor fuck.
I was, mostly going through YouTube. I looked up some podcasts, and I also went on a few subreddits. The subreddits made me very angry.
Did they tell you to watch this fucking movie?
They didn't tell me to do anything. They just made me mad.
Yeah.
Just because the subreddits it just devolves into fucking dorks arguing about like ham radio shit.
That's what it's for, though.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Something tells me number stations are kind of for that.
Yeah.
Like they're there to feel like there are a contingency of dorks out there that are not like you, me, dorks that like don't have a thing. And so they'll just, this came along and they were like, that's going to be my thing. I'm not going to be a Bigfoot guy. I'm not going to be a reptilian dude. I'm not going to be about ghosts. I'm not going to be about UFOs.
Yeah.
Me and the model train dude and the metal detector guy are going to be chilling over here talking about these number stations,
Yeah.
I feel like they probably have a large kinship with the JFK dorks.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just,
Yeah.
it's all Cold War dorks,
Yeah.
which is fine. I don't know.
CIA dorks
Yeah.
and MK Ultra dorks probably get lumped in there too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like there's theories that it's like a Manchurian candidate shit where it's
Right.
like these subliminal messages, they like awaken something and then some guy goes fucking ape shit.
Remember when that was a novel idea? The Manchurian Candidate?
Oh, like when it like
Remember when that was like, can you imagine if somebody was just controlling the president
Yeah.
from behind the shadows?
Yeah.
Now you just look at it and you're like, yeah,
yeah, it's all
it
fake.
happens every 4 years.
Yeah, it's all fake.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't the government, it turns out. It was fucking pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah, no shit.
PG&E.
Yeah. Yeah, what was it, smart meters?
Yeah. I used to remember, like, did Denzel did that one,
What?
the Manchurian Candidate.
Oh,
I
yeah,
remember seeing it with my dad and just walking out of there and being like, whoa, wouldn't it be crazy if some powerful entity controlled the commander in chief right under our noses? Then we had another election and kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, I forgot about it. Yeah.
we were like, oh yeah, that's right.
Well, so during my research, I saw that there was a movie called
You
Number Station.
Poor bastard.
There's a movie called Number Station that came out in 2013 with John Cusack and the Onion Knight from Game of Thrones.
What?
I know you're not a Game of Thrones guy, right?
No. Who the fuck is the Onion Knight?
Is some I forget his name. He's an actor. He's pretty badass. He's like some old British guy, but his character in Game of Thrones was the Onion Knight.
He was known as the Onion Knight.
Yeah, that was like his house was like yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
How was it?
Game of Thrones really good.
No.
Oh,
Number Stations.
Number
with John
Stations.
Cusack.
So that movie was a piece of shit. So John Cusack plays like a CIA hitman,
Of course.
and he is like a weird sociopath, so he has like no emotion and he's very just like matter of fact.
Okay.
Which just means that John Cusack was phoning it in and was like sleepy the entire time.
I love when they do that.
Yeah.
I love when they do that. I feel like John Malkovich does that a lot too,
Mm-hmm.
where you're like, okay, you're supposed to be like a fucking cold-hearted killer or
Yeah.
whatever, and that's just them being like their best Ben Stein impersonation. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I can see John Cusack doing that. That sounds like it sucks.
Yeah, I guess there's some movie that he was in called like Gross Point Blank, where
Yeah.
he was like a
That movie's like a dope though.
yeah,
that movie's
but
good.
So it's like he's just kind of redoing that character where he's just like a
Great.
very like stoic, plain dude that's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, no emotion, shit like that.
No
So he just seems
melancholy
sleepy.
hitman.
Movie sucks. So he's a CIA hitman or a government hitman, whatever the fuck, and he's assassinating somebody and it goes wrong, and the target's daughter sees him kill him, and then he's like, oh, we have to tie up all the loose ends.
Is he the bad guy?
Well, I don't know. He's a CIA agent, so
Yeah.
fucking probably.
Right.
So essentially, he doesn't kill this girl,
Okay.
the little girl, but then the Onion Knight see like the girl, like he like
You
he
keep
like
referring
yeah.
to him as
So
the
he
Onion
like
Knight.
he like leaves the place and he's like, yeah, it's done. And then this girl comes running out, chasing him, like, why did you do that? Why did you do that?
Dude's like obviously not fucking done.
And then so the Onion Knight fucking kills her.
Great.
And then like hits him with the gun, and then it kind of like some time passes and he's obviously been like demoted, and now he has to kind of babysit this girl who's like of course it's a mathematician, so of course she's very attractive.
Of course.
Yeah. It's like I
Like
forget-
all mathematicians are.
yeah, all mathematicians. It's that late. Her last name is Ackerman, and she played the Silk Spectre in The Watchmen.
Did she?
Yeah, so it's that lady.
Oh, she's good.
Yeah.
She's good.
Yeah, and so she plays a mathematician, of course, and so he's kind of her
Yeah,
babysitter now.
scientist.
He's her babysitter. So
She's the
and-
hot scientist.
and she works at a number station.
Oh, I see what they set up here. This is his
Yeah.
road to redemption
Yeah,
by protecting her
yeah,
from
and he's all
the
like
powers that be.
and he's all fucked up and has like a therapist because he's all fucked up from that girl getting killed because
Right.
he blames himself, which he should. He's
Obviously.
a CIA agent. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But
How much of these how many of these heroes do you think are real big fans of this movie?
they love it.
I bet they do.
Yeah, they love it.
Cranking hog all day to the fucking John Cusack and the Silk Spectre, the Onion Knight, fucking all-star cast.
Yeah,
What
it's
could you,
it's a.
what more
fucking-
could you ask for?
I guarantee it was like a fucking. What is it? What's that thing called? Red. A red. You know, where you go to the fucking grocery store and you rent movies there.
Oh, Redbox.
Yeah, I guarantee it was a Redbox movie.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah.
And they go to a number station. She works there, and then some fucking like Russian spies or wherever the fuck come and like invade it. And so he's just there, kind of like
So it's Gross Point Blank
100%. Yeah, he's just there like an
meets the professional meets fucking Red Dawn.
yeah, and he's just like you know he's just a badass that like kills a bunch of people, and he like defends this girl, and I didn't finish it because it was boring. I hated it,
Yeah.
and I watched a bunch of reviews of it, and all the reviews were from 10 years ago, and I hated the reviews too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So once you get past all of the espionage, which
Yeah.
I'm taking as a big crust to this fucking
yeah,
topic,
yes.
is there anything underneath that? Is there any other theories that come out?
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
So we have aliens and fucking spies.
yeah, and interdimensional entities talking to us in numbers.
Right. In
Yeah.
children's voices.
Yeah, in children's voices.
I don't know, man. This feels like Chimos needed a way to communicate before the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's what this feels like.
Yeah, this is definitely just fucking creeps.
Because
talking
they're
to each
all
other.
like, I listen. You played a couple for me.
Yeah.
And they're all fucking weirdly childlike.
They're all like, yeah, and a lot of them are digitized like synthetic voices that just sound so weird and so off-putting. That's why the topic was so interesting to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
poor bastard.
Yeah, well, I'd imagine that that's what this podcast is going to be. It's going to be a lot of stuff because, like we mentioned in episode 0, is that we're laymen. We're very uninformed. I'm not a fucking historian or a mathematician.
Dude, you're looking at a guy up until like 25 minutes ago. I thought a layman was like, yeah, fucking good with the ladies. Getting fucking laid. And then, like, we were talking about it in the car, me and my wife were on the way over here, and she was like, that's not what that means. I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, if you say you're a layman, you're saying you're like a dumbass compared to whatever somebody's talking about in the topic. And I was like, well, this is going to go well. All right. Okay, so it's either aliens, interdimensional people, or spies, or dorks who are fucking playing with ham radios.
So, like I was saying,
Okay.
all the research has made me mad,
Yeah.
has bored me, has irritated me.
Right.
And then I stumbled upon something else.
Ooh.
There is an Italian man, and his name is Marconi.
Okay.
Like, it's like Giovanni. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. Right.
Like I said, we're not going to get any of this shit right.
Yeah.
And this is also, oh man, there's also
For the sake of the podcast, let's refer to him as Super Mario.
super. I'll just call him I'll just call him Marconi.
Okay.
And he is known to be the man who invented the radio.
Really?
Yes, and there is a lot of there's kind of a hot debate because Tesla also was who discovered radio signals.
What? Elon Musk's dad?
Elon Musk's dad.
Yeah.
Nikola Tesla.
Yeah.
So there's a hot debate of like who actually invented radio signals or who
Right. They're
discovered
always
them.
like Bell and the telephone
So
and all of that. Yeah.
it's kind of like theorized that Tesla invented the radio, but then this guy's the one that kind of built the first radio.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so no radios. This
Okay.
guy invented the radio. He discovers radio signals. He builds a receiver. He turns it on,
Right.
and a bunch of numbers in a digitized voice start coming through.
Really?
The first radio. There's no other radio. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like he
Right.
developed the receiver.
Oh, we've just discovered the first interesting thing about this topic.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, bud.
This was in 1895.
Really?
Yep.
So what are we thinking? Time traveling?
Maybe.
Time traveling radio dorks?
So there's a couple theories on his claim.
Mm.
So one of the theories is that it's like military technology, that the military is like always like way advanced and way ahead of like everything else. Like I guess that like
Okay.
like nuclear submarines and shit in the 60s had like LED screens,
Okay.
but they didn't become popular until like the early 2000s.
All right.
So it's like That
So there could be a lag in technology because of classified shit.
yeah, exactly. So you know, there's a theory that like governments and militaries could
That's
have
a
been,
far stretch, though.
Dude.
Digitized voices in
Yeah.
1895.
yes.
If it was, isn't that weird though? If it was in the 1900s, I'd be like 100%.
And so and people say that like once he discovered that and he told a couple people about it,
Yeah.
he was like super spooked and weirded out. And he was scared of the radio every time he turned it on of what he would hear.
Yeah, dude. He was afraid.
Yeah.
Fucking Goombas were going to come for him.
So I thought that was pretty interesting.
It's the only thing that gives me like kind of, the old paranormal chug.
Yeah.
Because what is that? If there's no other radios, how can it be broadcasting from anywhere?
Yeah.
Or is it coming from outside?
And it was in German.
It was in German.
Yeah.
He's Italian.
Yeah.
Okay. What are their theories about it? You didn't look into this, did you?
No, I did look into it.
You did.
It was a lot of people arguing about the
Yeah.
Tesla thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
right. They could have just been fucking bitching with each other.
So they said that like, you know, that Tesla invented this before. And so they said that people actually had radio signals before.
Okay.
But, you know, at this time it was only Morse code. But it was like, he says that he heard a human voice reciting off numbers.
Is this considered the first number station?
It is.
Is it still going?
No.
Yeah.
There's like, I think there's no recording of it because it was before all that shit existed. So it's only this Italian fucks hearsay.
We're going to run into a lot of that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you think? What do you think about your first topic? Our first maiden voyage in an actual episode.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I want to end the podcast. I hate this.
All right, well, let me go. Let me go next time.
Yeah,
and
you can go
I'll
next
see
time.
if I can. I'll see if I can restore the faith.
Yeah, no, it was interesting. You know, I'm not, you know, I'm not a dead set believer of everything.
Right.
But I'm also not like a debunker. Like I don't, you know what I mean? Like I don't like people debunking shit.
This
either.
was full of debunks, and you just couldn't get over them.
It was kind of just me debunking it myself because like
Right.
I kind of just think that it's just, you know, it's just old timey hackers.
It's like
just,
Bigfoot for me.
It's
like,
just, you know, it's just dudes making memes. You know what I mean? Like I think it was just people
yeah.
making recordings and shooting them out there and just seeing what they could find.
Right. This also, I was gonna say, this has a really big kind of creepypasta feel to it.
Yeah.
Like this was kind of Slender Man-ish. Like it was invented to be a spooky thing.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else really behind it.
You know, because like I said before, like there's not that many people that like discover this shit.
Right.
So they could just be making it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They could just like make the fucking recording. They like post it up on
Upload, yeah.
YouTube and they're like, I found this. I've been following this since the fucking 80s. But
Right.
you know.
Well, it makes me wonder if there could be like some kind of do you remember the Cave of M?
Oh yeah, the M Cave?
Yeah, the M Cave.
Yeah.
Yeah, where that
Yeah.
dude went missing
Mhm.
or whatever. Like he had a bunch of shit about radios and shit around
Yeah.
it, like radio waves around it. So I
Yeah.
wonder if, because I like when they find these stations, that's the one thing that makes me kind of not go espionage is like the pirated cartel ones are different.
Yeah.
But like espionage is all about undercover,
Mm-hmm.
and even in encoded code, like they had those like remember the Enigma machine?
Yeah.
Like they carried those with them and like fucking protected the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Just because like having something that could be broken out there. So you know what I mean? Like just having like a hard set place that you have to broadcast some shit from
Mm-hmm.
doesn't seem like an espionage smart move.
There was a lady, I believe in the very early 2000s, that was a Russian analyst for the CIA.
Okay.
And some people like started like suspecting her. No, for Cuba. I apologize.
Okay.
And they started kind of like looking into a bunch of stuff because there's a few operations that kind of got busted, and there's a few things that like the U.S. government was doing, and like the Cuban government knew every aspect about it.
Okay.
And then people kind of started suspecting this one lady who's an analyst. I have her name written down somewhere, but I lost it, so I'm not going to recount it.
Okay.
And
She probably appreciates that.
yeah, she does appreciate that. But anyway, so they finally busted her, and then they went into her house, and she had a fucking
There was a number station.
there's a ham radio number station, and she had all the code ciphers.
Okay, so there actually is evidence
Yeah.
of these things.
So
Like it's most likely espionage
yeah,
and dorks.
so there's evidence of countries that are kind of have busted spies
Right.
with code ciphers and ham radios and
with evidence being like it was probably this other country,
exactly,
but like
but
they can't.
no,
they're
they
not-
can't
You're not
prove
gonna
it.
get that corroborated
No.
through Cuba.
Exactly. So it's like it's just countries busting spies, but it's no country ever admitting that that's how they communicate with
Oh.
people.
I finally get why you're so pissed.
Yeah.
You were hoping so badly.
Oh yeah.
You were hoping so badly for anything other than fucking espionage dorks.
100%.
Oh,
I wanted it to be something spooky. This thing with what's his name? Fucking Giovanni or whatever the fuck.
yeah,
His was like the spookiest.
Super Mario.
His was the spookiest thing,
Yeah,
and it was cool. And I literally discovered that last night.
that sucks.
Yeah.
Oh,
And of course, there's a bunch of people debunking it, saying that he was full of shit and that like
you're gonna have that all the way around.
oh yeah.
Dude, wait till you get to my topic. You're gonna talk about people getting debunked.
Mm.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Your topic?
Yeah, yeah. That's the next episode, folks. I'll be bringing you sea monsters,
Sea monsters.
and it is so much fucking cooler than this. Holy fuck! I knew it was gonna be espionage dorks. I
Yeah.
kind of had that feeling, and I knew you weren't gonna do well with it.
No.
Once you found out that, like, yeah,
Yeah.
because I agree with you. It's a really fascinating topic.
Yeah.
If you were to never look into it ever.
Yeah, because if you listen to them, they're really unsettling.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
sounds
sure,
cool. Yeah.
sure. And then you want it. You're like, ooh, what's this?
Yeah.
You know, like out of all the paranormal weird shit that where you can go into and stuff, like when you find those ones and then you look into it and you're instantaneously like, I fucking hate this.
Yeah.
That happened to me with the what is he the internet one, the tall one,
The Slender Man. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it happened to me.
Was
Where
Slender
like,
Man?
oh my god, because with all the art
Yeah.
on the internet, like if you just Google the Slender Man, there's really fucked up, like
Yeah.
offsetting images and stuff. And then if you actually like look into it at all,
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, these are dorks in Wisconsin.
Yeah. They're just like, oh, this is a creepypasta that this
Yeah.
one guy made up.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
There's this other one that's similar
for
to
a contest.
yeah. Oh god. There's another one that's very similar to Slender Man. It's like this. I forget what it's called, but it's essentially like this super gigantic being that's like a telephone pole, and it has like a bunch of like old rusty like not receivers, but like
Transformers,
transformers all around it,
right?
and it just like looks like this like giant like beanstalk walking through a forest,
Right.
and it just like emanates like this like distorted sound, you know what I mean? And like people
Yeah.
that hear it like have like fear and stuff like that, and people have like claimed to have seen it like out in the fucking forest and shit like
Right.
that. And then I was like, "Ooh, this sounds sick!" Because
And you're praying that maybe
Yeah.
this ties into
Yeah.
the number stations.
And then I look into it, and it's just like a fucking creepypasta.
Yeah.
And it's like a whole internet thing, and
Yeah.
I'm like, this fucking sucks.
Some guy made it for like a radio show
Yeah.
to get free tickets.
Yeah.
Fucking Creed and Limp Bizkit's
Yeah.
festival, whatever the hell they're doing.
Yeah. Like there's like all this stuff about like, you know, like these like stairs that people find in the forest, and they're just like a staircase that goes to nowhere in the forest, and people like
Right.
find them, and it sounds like really like weird and unsettling. It's like some weird cryptid thing.
Yeah.
And then you look into it and you're like, oh, it's from this one Reddit post like 10 years ago that this guy just told a spooky fucking story.
Right.
And then all these other people kind of just like latched onto it and kind of like left out the part that it was a spooky story. So
you
then,
touched on this in episode 0 a little bit. Like, this is like the AI, between the AI and the creepypasta stuff, that really does like
yeah,
kind of tank a lot of paranormal shit
fuck yeah,
and puts a lot of these subjects in that you really wouldn't give a fuck about
no,
if you took more than 5 minutes into it. Like, I was on the opposite end of the spectrum. When I coming up, we're going to be doing Sea Monsters, and I went into it thinking this is going to suck.
mm-hmm.
Like, I picked it because most of them I thought at least have been like, oh, we 100% debunked this.
yeah,
And I thought like, oh, whatever. It'll be something to talk shit on. And now I'm not even getting a fucking bathtub. Like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna go into some, just none of it. They're like debunked, really. None of it. They've found a couple of hoaxes,
mm-hmm.
but every time they like find one of those, the same scientists will like find some other thing.
Some
that's
other
like,
thing?
well, this was a hoax, but we did find this too. We'll get into it.
We'll get into it. Okay, well, you want to call it
I think so.
number stations?
Number stations.
I
I'm
hate-
gonna go with bullshit.
Yeah,
This is fucking espionage dorks.
yeah.
Remember the dad from American Beauty, the one that had the
Yeah.
Nazi plate?
Yeah.
This is him.
Yeah.
This is the shit that guy
Mm-hmm.
fucking loves.
Yeah.
The one that has his locked up Nazi plate.
Yeah.
And fucking hates the gay couple down the street.
Yeah. Oh man.
Fucking Peacemaker's dad.
Yeah.
making these.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. We're not saying that all ham radio operators are Nazis, but you're all fucking dorks.
Yeah, you're all fucking dorks. You might not be Nazis, but
Yeah. Get a different hobby.
oh my god.
If you want, whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
Whatever tickles your pickle. Right.
Yeah. Not for me. No, that ham radio better be in a fucking semi truck or something.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably fucking it up. We're gonna get so pissed.
Yeah. I know.
That's CB radio.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, I know. Yeah, I had all these notes and stuff, and I was gonna kind of get into it, but I don't know. Who cares?
Once you start, I believe me, this has happened before
Yeah.
to me, and it's no fun.
Yeah.
When you start looking into it and you're like, oh, this is all conjecture and it's all spy shit that I don't care about.
Yeah, I just don't buy it.
Do you ever see Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy?
No.
It's a Gary Oldman movie, so I sat through this
Yeah.
epically long, boring. He works in like a tailor shop,
Mm.
and he's like a spy. And it might be the slowest movie I've seen ever.
All right. I'll
But
check it out.
It's like that. You're like, oh man, I can't get into this fucking nitty gritty spy shit.
Yeah.
Real life spies, turns out it's these dorks.
Yeah, they're just analysts.
Yeah,
They're
it's
just like
these dorks.
Yeah, they're just like
because you want James Bond.
no, for
dude.
sure.
Yeah, you want
Yeah.
fucking Mission Impossible shit.
Yeah. What is it? Born Identity shit.
Yeah, dude.
but no,
Super
they're just
soldiers.
like they're literally just like analysts that are copying and pasting and
Right.
email them to a fucking like
They're not fucking
handler.
super soldiers.
Yeah. So, all right, man. Well, this was a good episode. This was fun.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it was good
God.
talking shit.
Dude, wait till you see what I got in store for you.
I'm spooked.
Jesus, you have no idea.
I'm spooked to the
You
core.
have no idea. You're gonna be avoiding puddles, son.
Yeah. Well,
Sea
okay.
Monsters is coming at you next.
This was episode 1 of
Episode
The Way of the
1,
Void.
man.
It was fun.
Proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud
I'm
of
proud of you for sticking with it.
you. Don't be.
Yeah, I am.
Well,
I didn't have to fucking do it. Look at it this way: we'll never have to do number stations again.
Yeah, I'm just angry now.
It's in the can.
Yeah.
We're done. Don't worry.
All right.
All right. We'll catch you all later.